baby. We're back here in the Guillotines and Guitar Studio here in Hartsville, South Carolina. We had a big old break, and now we're back fresh, ready to go.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we got our Guillotines guitars in the bag, boy.
That's right.
We got some excellent topics for tonight.
Yeah, we do.
For our Guillotines, we're talking about O.J. Simpson.
The juice.
The juice.
The juice.
We're
The juice is loose. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, no.
We're going to talk about all the good and bad things of the juice, but still respect. God rest his soul. And for guitars, we're talking about Journey, baby.
The band Journey.
And their number one hit that's caused
it was their greatest hits album.
Yeah. So
achieved a milestone.
Yeah, Scott's going to tell us something that happened with Journey and their greatest hits album.
Yep.
And I did not look it up, so I'm looking forward to you telling us what they did.
Something happened with their album. It reached a milestone that has only been reached by 2 other albums in the history of Billboard.
Can't wait to hear.
Awesome.
Can't wait to hear it. But that's our topics for tonight. If you have any comments on our topics, you can come down, drop the comments below. We'll give you a shout out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like and follow button. Go down and go to our YouTube page and all that stuff. We done did that.
Yeah, that's what you're just talking about. Good job. You did fantastic once again.
We're on all audio platforms, by the way. We're on all the big stuff, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all that good stuff. And, of course, we're on YouTube. We got a bunch of videos. Go check out our past videos. They're funny. We got some good stuff out there.
Yeah, got a lot of content out there.
A lot of content. You will never go bored. You won't go bored. And please.
Well, you might go bored, but if you do go bored, just fast forward just a little bit. You'll get past the boring part.
And you'll see a lot of stuff that's entertaining. Some educational stuff.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot, but there is some. And there's a lot of stupid stuff where you be like, these guys, they're not all there. And that might be true.
Yeah. And I think lately we're going to throw in a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff that we like to have a lot of fun before, during, and after the show.
Which will show you even more that we're not that intelligent, but we still...
I don't know. I think intelligence plays a big part in making sure that these pranks go... did I say pranks? That's not what I meant. All right. Let's spin a coin. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's go.
What topic are we going to start with? Are we going to start with guillotines and OJ? Hold on. I wasn't ready. What are you doing there?
Oh, okay. We'll start over.
Are you going to start with guillotines and OJ or guitars and Journey?
And here we go. Wrong button.
Yeah, it looks like
it's been a while.
Guillotine.
So, OJ topic.
We're talking about O.J. Simpson over here.
All right. Well, before we get started, let's get started.
Let's get started. And before every topic, we do a little libation shot.
We like to have a shot. And once again, I put 2 sets of 4 in this bag, and twice now, at least. Well, I think we've picked the same drinks, almost the same.
Yep.
Almost both times. Let's see. I do have 2 separate. There's 8 drinks in here, 2 sets of 4. So let's see what happens.
Can't wait.
Is Bloody Mary wouldn't be a chance, would it?
Bloody Mary.
What do you have? A pineapple upside down cake.
Pineapple upside down.
I'm a deep. God.
You got the same one?
Same one.
Chocolate buttery nipple.
How about that? He gets the different one. All right, let's make this quick because I would like the shots to be back on the video.
All right, well, this is, like we said, you've got, both of you picked the pineapple upside down cake. I got the chocolate buttery nipple. These are from Twisted. These are great drinks, by the way.
Yeah,
they are.
They're great little shots. They're quick and easy. They're called Twisted because they split them down the middle, and so you drink them at the same time.
Scott,
he always has trouble.
All right. Shot.
All right, cheers.
Everybody, cheers. Here we go.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Yes, it did, John.
Oh, John Bird with some words of wisdom.
That chocolate is good.
So O.J. Simpson, the juice.
the Juice, died. What date did he die?
I mean, you let off with it. You had you was ready. He died it.
Well, I mean, he just died. I mean, that's obviously why that's one of our topics is because he just died.
Well, that was
so he was in the news.
Important.
All right. Well, April 10th. Today is April 10th. Today is April 17th. We're a week after, but we were off last week. But April 10th. So, and I think he just had the funeral today or yesterday.
I'm not sure. But
as the today is the 17th for us, but like I said, it was either today or yesterday.
Yeah. Did the coffin fit?
Oh my God!
A little humor for you, folks. A little humor for you. It ain't never too soon. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
See?
Yeah, he and I saw a meme, and I know a lot of people did too, that had a white Ford Bronco stretched out into as a hearse, and they said it would be a missed opportunity if they didn't do that. But I digress. I won't get into that. But it was but yeah, so it was either yesterday or today, and I did see one photo from the funeral, and I'll have to double check and just make sure that I did see that. But yeah, it wasn't a white Ford Bronco. No, hold on. It says actually he's been cremated.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that. Well, my fondest memories of OJ, I love him, and I don't know if you guys ever watched those Naked Gun movies, but
I love Naked Gun movies.
He was in a lot of those movies with Leslie Nielsen.
He was in
Nielsen.
He was in the first one. Was he in the second one?
Yeah. As what was his name? God. And his character.
Millhouse.
It was something. It was something. Norberg.
Nordberg.
Was it Norberg? It was Norberg.
How do y'all remember? How do you remember that? You didn't watch that's been a long time ago for you. It had to be.
Oh, I'm offended.
I'm surprised actually.
I grew up in a household of knowledge.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was always over your head though.
Yeah, but I enjoyed all those movies with him in there. I didn't watch him play football. I'm sure you did watch him play football, didn't you?
No, he was before my time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure you watched him play football.
No, I didn't. I know you think I'm older than I am, Chris.
He was in by the way, real quick, he was in 3 of the Naked Guns. He was in Naked Gun, which I guess was the first one.
Yeah.
Well, it says from the Files of Police Squad. Is that the name of the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one.
Naked Gun 2.5.
And he was in Naked Gun
33 and a third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those movies are
I don't
crazy.
remember him being in the third one.
So what I remember, and I can't remember the 3. Like I can't distinguish between the 3. But I had a conversation with my kids today when I talked about what we were talking about today, and they know who O.J. Simpson is. They, like everybody in the know, especially in the digital age, like everybody knows everything. But they weren't around obviously when this was going on. And I was talking about, and I'll come back to this a little bit later about some of the personal stuff. But I was talking about how at the time O.J. Simpson was the it guy. Really, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was a star football player, and then he became a highly respected actor in the comedy world. So like O.J. Simpson was the guy back then. So, let me go ahead and go into it. Chris, do you know what famous individual, in today's how do I word this? In today's world, what famous individual had a close connection to O.J. Simpson?
Hold on, give me a second. Johnny Cochran.
Well, yes, good job. That's not,
that was his lawyer.
Yeah,
I really.
Well, but speaking of lawyers, he was part of. There was a person that was part of. Hold on. I know that Scott don't know.
Can I have a rebuttal?
Yes.
The Kardashian. What's his name? Yes. I remember that.
Yeah.
It just came to me.
Who was the Kardashian?
What was the dad's name? What was his name?
Come on, you got it.
Wasn't Kim.
Kim, that wasn't Kim. She was there though. I mean, she was present.
It was her dad.
Jenner.
Yeah. No, it wasn't her dad.
Who is it?
I mean, yeah, it was Kim's.
It was her
Kim's
dad. It wasn't her stepdad.
Yeah, no. Rob
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, he was co-counsel.
Right. So Rob was actually like one of O.J. Simpson's best friends. Kris Kardashian, then, I mean, Jenner now, but Kris, the wife, was Nicole Brown Simpson's one of her best friends.
Wow.
So they were all like super close.
Like a circle.
Yes, they were all super close. Well, so when all this went down, like, so OJ reached out to Rob and said, I want you to be part of my legal counsel, you know, my legal team or whatever. So during the trials, like, Kim and, it wasn't Courtney. Kim and Courtney were like there. And I don't think Chloe was, maybe she'd been there. So there was even stuff later that said
if there was a basketball player, one of them was there.
This was before. Well, this was before, but you know, this was anyway. So there was actually a rumor that had gone out that that Kris,
yes,
Jenner now, Kris was actually had an affair with OJ, and that Chloe was their love child.
Whoa!
Yeah, and so. OJ, I remember when he had got out of prison one time and he got on his Twitter or whatever and got on there and said, hey, you know, just to set these stories off of whatever, these aren't true. She is not my love child. Courtney is not my daughter or whatever. So, but for everybody else, everybody was going, yeah, but you know what? If you think about it, Chloe's the one that doesn't look like any of the rest. She's taller, you know, a little squarer face, and she looks different. But yeah, so I think that's probably where a lot of the rumors kind of jumped in there. But everybody was saying that they had something going on, but both of them obviously said that didn't happen. So that was very close. So the Kardashians actually kind of, I think their fame started back in the OJ days. Interesting stuff.
That is interesting. I didn't know most of that stuff. That's crazy.
Did you see what after OJ died? What Caitlyn Jenner posted on X or whatever.
No.
You know, she. I say she. I mean he.
No,
but
we'll be PC. We'll play along and say.
But she posted something like, you know, good riddance. You know, like
wow, just like that.
But that's
Good
another
riddance.
thing though. When she was Bruce. She was friends with OJ.
Yeah,
she was friends with all of them. I mean, she was like, at the time they were all there's family photos of them, like all together. OJ and Nicole, Kris and Bruce at the time. I guess they must have already separated. She must have already separated from Rob. But anyway, there's photos of all of them all together.
You know, that's crazy. I guess as times change, you know, he changed. So did,
well, I guess. He's not a big fan of OJ.
Yeah, his mindset changed.
And Kris Jenner, it neither. I don't think, you know, because I mean, I think
Well, because she was friends with
Nicole was one of her best friends. So I don't think there's any love lost with him dying with her either.
Probably not. And I haven't kept up. I haven't looked online and followed everybody's stories and Twitters and Instagrams and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what anybody else was saying about it. But at least at one time, they were all very close, all good friends.
But do you remember when all this broke? When it happened?
Let me rephrase your question. Where was you at when you seen the Bronco going down the highway? Do you remember where you were at the time?
I did not see it like live, so I don't remember
because it was big.
I don't know where it was. It was huge.
Oh, it was all over. I mean, all the.
Well, this was 94, right?
94, 95, 94,
95. So this was our senior years in high school,
and this was
it was big news at school too. Like I remember the schools.
What I think. Larry King actually said this was the birth of.
Oh, I've got Larry King right here.
With us on the phone now is O.J. Simpson.
But yeah, go ahead.
But I think Larry King actually said this was like the birth of, you know, this type of TV format that, you know, because it was all.
televised. Well, and that was something else too. I do remember this part. Everybody talking about how you had cameras in the courtroom. You had free press, like they were able to go in there and they were able to broadcast live
and normally
some parts of it.
You didn't see that.
No, not at all.
And so everything was broadcast live.
Yeah.
And this was at the beginning of the internet. So the internet was out there, but it wasn't. Nobody had it readily available like they do now.
Yeah.
So everybody was watching TV, and it was all over all the stations. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was unreal to sit there and see it, and the Bronco scene was that's got to be one of the most shown videos in TV history.
The drawn out.
There should have been a video game about that.
It wasn't a high speed chase. It was a low speed chase.
It should have been that.
It was just the Bronco going.
It collided into Frogger or something. Something along those lines.
Frogger.
I mean,
that's what they should have done. Turn the Bronco into Frogger.
You had the Bronco scene was done, I think, with the Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's been done by everybody.
With Seinfeld, they had that with Kramer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had that. You had what else?
Everything.
Everything had something of that in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the house guest of OJ?
Cato Kalin.
Who now?
Cato Kalin. He stayed in the bungalow behind OJ's house.
The bungalow.
Well, that was what it was.
All I remember, and like now, but what I know now is different. But what I do remember back then, being like a high school kid, and this stuff was happening. Like I'm about to graduate in high school, and I'm watching this stuff, and Cato Kalin comes out. This California dude with the long blonde hair, like crazy, like teased way out, and everything that he said was just like, is this guy serious or is he playing a role right now? Because he was so like, just seemed so out there, right? And they'd ask him a question. I wish I could do like a good impression of him right now, but just the way he would answer would be like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. It was just so weird. It's just, I was over here. I know, but that's my memory of it.
You remember Cato got a lot of hate from a lot of people.
Yeah, because I guess his stories didn't really add up, right? They were just kind of, he wasn't sure what he was saying.
There was a couple things that, it didn't add up with, I guess when he was first questioned, things changed a little bit, but I watched a video. It was a podcast actually with him from not too long ago. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, where
he has his own podcast, doesn't he?
I think so.
I believe he does.
But
or at least he's part of one or something. But yeah, go ahead.
He's talking about this stuff, and the way he explains it, I can see where he's coming from, And he says, I don't understand, I got so much hate from people. He's like, I was just a guy staying in his bungalow, And he was actually, and I didn't know this, he was actually friends with Nicole, not OJ.
Yeah.
And he was staying at Nicole's for a while, and then when they were together, I think OJ told him, look, you can stay in my bungalow until you can find a place.
Bungalow, I love the way you say
until
bungalow.
You can find a place to stay, or find your own house or whatever. And he was like, okay, cool. And then they separated. So, I mean, he didn't know OJ all that well. I mean, and he says, I was a friend of Nicole, not OJ. He said OJ was just like an acquaintance. I met him a couple times, but it's just weird hearing him talk about this like now after 30 years.
Do you remember if he was friends with Nicole after they separated? Or was it like, was it when they together? Because really, what I do question, and I don't remember this, the house where all this stuff happened. I know Nicole was living there while she was seeing Ron, right?
Well, no, she wasn't seeing Ron.
How you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This
was another interview that I just watched.
Wait a minute. Let me before I get off.
Okay.
Of that.
Okay. All right.
The house where that happened
was Nicole's house.
Was Nicole's house. Did OJ ever live there?
No, OJ.
That's what I was asking.
OJ, she was staying there, but OJ paid for it because they were separated, or they just got a divorce.
Okay, but he never lived in that house.
He never lived in that house.
But if he was paying for it, so he did have access to the key code or whatever to get in the gate.
Well, no. I'm saying.
We're not trying to solve the problem. We're not trying to solve it. I'm just questioning.
What I'm saying is that the money that he paid her in alimony and child support and all, that she bought that place. So I don't know if he actually had access to inside the place or whatever. But here's one thing that I did about Ron Goldman that I did not know. All the 30 years, I did not know this until I was listening to, like I said, this interview with Cato, and he brought this up, and I had no idea. But Ron Goldman was working at this restaurant. He was up and coming. He was like so many people in California wanting to be an actor.
Yep.
And he was working to try and, pay for his room and board wherever he was staying at, and trying to get noticed as an actor. But he worked at this restaurant that Nicole and her family went to. As an Italian restaurant they used to go to all the time. And it so happened that night that she was killed, her daughter had a dance recital at her school. And so the family went there for the dance recital after it was over. And OJ went there too. But OJ had to catch a flight, to go to, he was doing some kind of event somewhere out of state, whatever. But, so when they went to the dinner, Nicole and her parents, it was her mother and her sister and her kids went after the dance recital. What happens when they left, the mother, and at the time she didn't know it, dropped her glasses at the restaurant. She didn't notice at the time.
Huh.
Okay, so fast forward, Nicole's back at home with her kids, and this is like 10 o'clock at night, right before the murders happened. Her mother calls her and says, I can't find my glasses.
How do you know it was 10 o'clock at night? Where were you that night?
I mean, there's a timeline that's been established, But so...
you need this?
Try it on, Chris. If it fits. If it don't fit, But anyway,
you must have quit.
Let me to sum this up real quick. So the mother, Nicole's mother, calls her and says, "I can't find my glasses. I think I left them at the restaurant." And so Nicole calls the restaurant and says, we were just there. I think my mother lost her glasses somewhere. But they find her glasses outside.
Yeah.
And
I remember this part.
Ron Goldman, who was a waiter there, says, I know Nicole. I know where she lives. I'll take the glasses to her house. Okay. So now you have Ron Goldman, who's a waiter, who there is no romantic link between him and Nicole. That all of Nicole's friends say. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they had something going on or not, but they say no, there wasn't, because there's conversation saying, they're friends, and Ron has his acquaintances at work, the other waiters and waitresses that he knows. And like one girl had an interview, said, I know Ron wanted it to be more than just a friendship, but at that point, Nicole wasn't taking his advances. So, I mean, from everything that I've listened to, that it wasn't a romantic relationship. It was just a friendship. And so Ron took the glasses to Nicole's house that night, and that's when, apparently
he must have ran up on what was happening.
I think he ran. He come up there and it was going down.
And it was
OJ
like, okay,
was.
well, you got to go too.
Now you're witness to it, so now you have to go too. And so
that's an interesting perspective. That's completely different than what I've had.
Well, and that's completely different than what I thought I knew for the last 30 years until
me too.
When I started looking at these interviews and listening to people, and I'm like, that's nothing what I thought it was. I always thought that Nicole and Ron
got caught.
I thought they were. Yeah, I thought
that too.
I thought they were together.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody did.
Yeah, so I mean,
not
this is
directly involved with everything, but I think like the outside looking in, like the people that saw it on the news.
Yeah,
I think we all saw it that way.
That's something totally
that's what
different.
I always.
And it's like,
wow, you blew my mind. I feel like Chris right now.
I was like, that's
what?
I was like, if that's true, but
whoa,
but you know, okay, remember, Cato.
Yeah. Yeah,
and Cato,
oh yeah, we forgot about Cato.
No, but in Cato,
yeah, I saw. I was
here.
He's like the Kramer of the show right now.
But in Cato's testimony, he says, like at 10, or I don't remember the timeline, so don't keep me to.
I remember him saying something. It was like 9:26 or 9:27. I don't remember
or something. But I watched the interview with him too, like. I
came back from catching a wave, man, and
no, but I watched the interview with him like just recently.
I was in Nebraska surfing the amber waves of grain,
where he's talking about everything, and he's like, he said he come out of the bungalow that he was staying in,
Kalo, then the bungalow,
and he said he saw OJ standing at his car with the door open. And said just had like a blank stare on his face. And, he said, OJ, what you doing? Or whatever, And OJ was like, oh, I'm going to go get something to eat, man. And he said, was that wrong? He didn't say that?
That sounds like a prison door open.
I know. Yeah. But
come on in, worker.
He said, I lost my train of thought now. You done messed me up.
Sorry about that.
We got Cato where he says,
"Hey man,
no, but he sees."
I wonder if he made jokes with OJ like, "Hey, you got some OJ? Ah, yeah, man."
No, but he Cato says he sees OJ at his car.
I think we're parked, man.
Okay, no. Because Cato comes out the bungalow at the back, so
he loves saying the bungalow.
Yeah, I do. I like the bungalow, and he sees OJ at his car standing with the door open. He says he has a blank stare on his face, but so he asks him, OJ, what's going on? And OJ's like, oh, I'm going to get something to eat, And Cato says at the time, I'm gonna come with you to get something to eat if you don't mind, and. He said OJ kind of had like a pause. It was like, okay, well, come on, And said that's when he got in the car with OJ and they went to McDonald's.
Whoa. The guy got in the car with OJ.
No, this is before the murders.
Oh.
This is right before the murders.
Now you got me confused.
Yeah, you had me confused because you were saying this is after.
No, I said this is before. This is before Nicole is
Then
murdered.
why do you tell us that to begin with instead of going through this whole story before? And now you're going to say, but before that.
Well, I thought I did.
No, you got us confused. You got us confused. Okay, so before this happened.
Before the murders.
Okay.
All right. So Cato comes
Don't
out.
go through the whole damn thing.
No.
We already know about that part.
Hold on.
All right. So here we go.
I think we've got Carol on the phone, too. I want to make sure that he can be a part of this in case he needs to chime in and say something. So, Carol, are you there? Did we lose him again?
Carol.
Hi.
Hey, there we go. Oh, there he is. He was peeing.
No.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
I was not.
You call me what you want.
You call me either you want.
So, Carol, you know anything about this story that we're talking about?
I am.
It's only been discussed for like the last 30 years.
That's because it takes you forever to get through it. You were because then you got to the end and said, "But let me tell you about the beginning."
Yeah. No, I thought I was telling you about before the murders actually happened.
Here we go again. So you didn't get it started again.
No, but I want to say, so was Cato in the car? Were they going to McDonald's before they were going? That was before the murders. So tell me, did OJ drive him to McDonald's to get McDonald's, then take him back home and drop him off?
Yes.
And then go?
Yes.
And that just happened to be when Ron comes up with the glasses for Nicole.
That's exactly what happened.
All right, thank you.
And Cato actually, he had a interview with Ron's sister where he said he felt bad because he said he felt he messed the timeline up because he was like, if I wouldn't have went with OJ, because he said when he went out and saw OJ at the car, he was like, something seems weird here. And he was like, if I wouldn't have went with him to go get something to eat, would he have went on to Nicole's and killed her then?
Yeah.
And then Ron would have been alive.
Maybe. Maybe if
and he said he actually told the sister this. He was like, I feel like I messed up the timeline. Maybe if
because I really wanted that burger, man.
Well, no, because he's not a meat eater.
Chicken nugget. What? He went to McDonald's, but he's not a meat eater. What did he get?
He got a chicken sandwich, but he said he don't eat a lot of meat. But he said I got a chicken sandwich.
McDonald's chicken is not real meat, so I guess he's okay.
Bullshit.
He's good.
The McRib is back this week, brother. I got to go get it.
Yeah, hold on, we gotta check.
I mean, to hear him talk, he was like, if I wouldn't have went with OJ,
mixed salad.
I mean, was OJ planning on leaving right then to go over to Nicole's? And he was like, because I told OJ, because he said, OJ had that blank look. He was just like, can I go with you? And OJ was like,
I got a question for you.
Yeah, come on.
I got a question for you, Scott. Given all this and given what you know about the testimonies that were given, and Carol, chime in too if you pick up something here too. But so I want to know, is the general consensus, do people to believe that let's assume that OJ did do it? Let's just assume.
Well, I think that's a general consensus from everybody.
But he was acquitted, so anyway. But let's assume that he did do it. Yeah, the glove Did he go over there with intentions of killing her, or do you think he went over there with intentions of talking to her and trying to get her to, like, maybe there was the theory that there was this other guy?
I like that question.
Do you think he went over there with intentions? Obviously, if he went over there, was it his knife or was it a knife from inside of her house? That I don't know.
I think he went over there with intentions to kill her.
Because he had the gloves and the mask and that kind of stuff.
I think
I guess you could see
Ron
that. Messed that part up.
And messed it up.
Messed that part up.
So he had to kill Ron too.
Yeah. Well, the evidence that I remember seeing showed that he would be hiding, and then when she opened the gate to let Ron in, that he came down and hit her, knocked her up against the brick wall beside the steps, and then, or hit him first actually, and then hit her. She hit her head on the brick wall and went down, and while she went down, he jumped on him, picked him up, and did everything with him with the knife and stuff, and then went back to her.
Which would be what you would think, because that's the male.
But that
you want to get rid of that
the bigger threat.
The bigger threat.
But the way it was also, what I saw showed that it was obviously a much bigger person, a bigger, stronger person that picked him up by his head and held him up by his head and did the things that he was doing while he was holding him up by his head.
I have never heard holding anybody up behind the head.
Yeah.
Don't you think OJ would have, someone like that, do you not would think he would have hired that to be doing?
That's one of the theories.
Well, yeah, that's a theory. But if you go back and look at their history, though, OJ was, he loved her.
Violent.
But I mean, he was.
He did have that.
He thought that she was his. Did
they ever have
his
past
possession?
Violence? Like,
yeah, they had a lot
records.
of records. They had they had 3 or 4 different 911 calls where Nicole called on him.
Yeah, they actually
where he had beat her before. So I mean, yeah, there was past violence.
I think he was obsessed with her.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Possibly.
well, he loved her, but yeah, it was more than love. I think, yeah, it was an obsession,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it was.
Yeah.
I've never heard about the glasses store. That just blew my mind.
Oh, that was a big part.
I didn't know that either. And see, I don't remember that.
Please don't tell the story again. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
you know, can I just say, hold on, before I say what I'm about to say, I'm going to look something up real quick because I want to make sure I get my details exactly right. I saw something. I knew something a long, long time ago. Now I'm on the East Coast, and all this happened on the West Coast. Just to set that clear, I really don't know anything about it. I'm not a witness or whatever. I'm not a alibi to anybody. But I will say that way back in 1972, this was foreshadowed, and nobody picked up on it. Do you understand what I'm saying, Chris? Do you know what foreshadow means?
I was digging in my dictionary in my head. I've heard that word
Foreshadow
before.
means back in 1972, this could have been.
The Simpsons do it all the time.
They do not. That's a myth. But anyway, in 1972, there was a song called Backstabbers, right? Guess who sang Backstabbers?
Oh.
A band called the OJs.
Oh.
Wow.
Now, this is 1972. So anyway, so all this stuff happened. And
I don't think she was stabbing in the back. She had her head almost cut off.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that part. But come on, just
what?
go along with me. You know, he sliced across the throat.
Yeah.
Oh.
It went across the throat. Actually, like hit the spinal cord. But
Actually, I think her head was barely hanging on.
Yeah.
By
Oh my
some skin.
God.
y'all take it
He
away.
almost decapitated.
Y'all take it away. Well, they didn't talk about that part in the song. But
Anyway, no.
1972, the OJs had a song called The Backstabbers. And I was always really disappointed that nobody picked up on that. Nobody tried to make jokes. And like, especially Kevin Nealon. Jesus. I mean, Kevin Nealon. Oh my God, Kevin Nealon, if he'd have just hung around just a little bit longer. You know, he got fired from NBC and Saturday Night Live for making all these OJ jokes. Like everything, he would always like say something about, you know, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese just came out with a new brand called OJ Did It. Like they would just, all his jokes would come back to talking about OJ being guilty. If he'd just held on a little bit longer, he could have had some really good jokes too. So anyway, and maybe he would have been the one to say something about the OJs and the Backstabbers. But I'm hanging on to that one. I take that one because I haven't seen anybody else make that joke.
So
that's mine.
didn't he like? Of course, he had financial problems after all this.
Oh yeah, when he
broke into somebody and he was like, "This is mine."
he stole his own memorabilia.
He went to jail.
Yeah, he actually went to jail for
burglary,
strong armed robbery or something.
So he missed the well, wait a minute now. He got so he was acquitted for murder in the main trial, but then he was also sued by the family, right? For the wrongful death or whatever.
In civil court.
They
actually won. They won a $33 million. And he never paid that.
Of course not. He didn't. Well, he didn't get his stuff back to sell it yet.
He was like, "Hey, Bill Cosby, can you help me out?"
So I have a question.
Go ahead, Carol. Oh, is that Carol?
Is that Scott Gardner?
Yes.
I got questions.
Yeah.
I have a question.
That was perfect. All right, go ahead.
So is it true that Scott bought the Bronco for Chuck to drive to send a message for people coming into the neighborhood? And if so, how much did
I wish
Scott
I
pay
did.
for that Bronco?
I wish I bought it.
That's
I wouldn't be able to afford it.
You know
that Bronco was actually, I think, in Tennessee.
It's
Tennessee?
It's in the Alcatraz East Crime Museum.
Yeah.
You know who bought it was one of OJ's friends. Actually, now I saw. I think it was like. Oh man, it was one of the news networks, and I can't remember. But they found the guy who originally bought it and had it in his garage for like 20 years, and he still had the original.
Chuck was it?
Yeah, it was. But he was a friend of OJ's, or he was a friend of the AC, whatever the guy name what was the guy?
AC was the one who owned it, who was driving it.
Al Collins.
Last name DC.
AC. Yeah, ACDC. Yeah, but anyway, I just seen something like less than 10 years ago where it was still in the guy's garage, and he was talking about giving it to a museum. and I guess it was the Alcatraz East Crime Museum. But I think I just saw that it's back up for sale again, or back up for auction. So, and did you know it's like the second most viewed vehicle in the world, in all of history?
I would guess
I
would guess number one would be the General Lee.
No, the JFK car, the assassination
car.
Yep.
Where does the General Lee come in on that?
I don't know, but it's. I don't think the General Lee. I'm talking about the most like famous.
You mean like a crime or something?
Maybe, yeah. Like Bonnie and Clyde, I'm sure is.
I thought you were just talking about like the most famous
Hitler's car was up there.
Why would Hitler's car be up there?
Because he's a crime boss.
But he didn't have a car associated with him.
He did.
The Volkswagen?
Yes. It had old girl's lipstick still in it.
Hey, you want to know an interesting tidbit of information they don't teach you in school about Adolf Hitler and Ford?
What?
Adolf Hitler had a signed photo of Henry Ford on his wall in his office.
Wow, didn't know that.
That's right, because he was interested in how in the process that Henry Ford had of building cars. In
the
hurry.
plot thickens. Plot thickens. We'll dove into that
they
later.
They won't teach you that. They won't teach you that in school.
Yeah, buddy. But anyway, so let's wrap this up. Let's say, what's your favorite OJ moment? What's your favorite OJ movie, football play? What's your favorite OJ? Mine, of course, it's the Naked Gun.
Well,
I love him, and
I would have to say my favorite OJ moment or whatever. I mean, because obviously the guy's a killer. So I mean, but yeah, I guess
let's focus on
I guess
let's
I
go
liked
back
him,
before all that.
I guess
stuff.
I liked him in the Naked Gun. I thought it was his little role as Nordberg was pretty cool.
I love that.
I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like other than that, his football career and all, it was way before my time. So I don't.
He went.
I know he was a Heisman winner, and
he was a Trojan. Then went to the Buffalo Bills, I think.
Yeah, and I mean he racked up all kind of records and everything. I mean
the Juice.
That was all before.
Yeah.
Before I was.
Yeah. He wasn't a very good thief.
Hey man, you got my stuff. I mean, what the hell, man?
My favorite OJ moment was about a week ago. But anyway.
Oh, that was
cold. I'm just kidding.
That was dude.
I'm just kidding. But if I had to be honest, my favorite OJ moment is going to be sitting in the back of the Bronco crying and talking about how you're going to do bad things to yourself because you got caught. Or maybe you didn't. I don't know. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're completely innocent and somebody got you good. I don't know.
All right. Rest in peace, OJ. We were hard on you, but man. All right, that's about all the time we got on this subject. We're going to take a little short break here. Thank you, Carol, for joining us. We're going to see you in a few more minutes on the other side, the lighter side. We're going to the guitars. We're going to the guitars, talking about Journey.
Yeah, brighten things up.
Brighten things up a little bit. Yeah! All right, we'll see y'all in a few minutes. Here's a word. We'll see you in a few minutes.